I had a close friend. He was in the same class and also lived near my house. We used to play very well together, going home together after school. Until one day my friend stopped talking to me and went home alone without waiting for me. I tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't answer me. No matter how many times I called him, he kept silent. It wasn't until I touched his shoulder that he jumped all over, turning to look at me with a listless, panicked face. His face became thinner, more emaciated than before, like it was suffering from some disease. I tried to ask him about it, but he still wouldn't answer any questions. On the contrary, he went straight ahead, silently. His strange attitude confused me. The following day I went to class and saw his mother come to the homeroom teacher to ask him to take a few days off from school. I felt worried about my friend's health, so that afternoon just after school I ran to his house to ask. I went to his house after school. I knocked on the door for a while when his mother opened the door and invited me in. She also said that he was seriously ill. I asked his mother's permission to come into his room to visit him. After receiving the consent, I went straight to my friend's room. I found my friend lying on the bed in the room. His face was clearly worn out. He looked at me with a strange, soulless expression. I pulled up a chair and sat down next to him. As soon as he saw me, he brightened up a bit, but his skin still looked extremely pale. I asked him what was wrong, and he told me he was having a strange problem that kept him awake for many days. I listened to him and became more and more curious, asking what he was all about, why he was so haunted that he couldn't sleep. Until that time, he told me a whole story. A few days ago, he accidentally met a woman on his way home from school. That woman crossed the intersection at the corner of his house but was accidentally hit by a speeding car. After that impact, the injured woman lay in a pool of crimson blood and the car quickly sped forward and disappeared. He was a witness to the end. He also remembered the license plate of the car that caused the accident. Out of curiosity, he ran to see how the woman was. That woman looked up at him with her whole body covered in blood and weak eyes. She whispered to him. The woman used her weak breath and begged him for help. He called the ambulance and the police to help her. But when he saw the woman whose body was covered in blood, with her voice so weak, my friend also guessed that the woman would not survive. Instead of helping the woman, he coldly walked away. He was afraid that if anyone saw him, he would be the one involved in the accident. After that, he left the woman who got into the accident on the road, and he ran as fast as he could home, pretending not to know anything. Since that day, he did not know about the news of the accident anymore, but he encountered some strange phenomena. Since then, his nature also became taciturn and quiet. His parents asked him no matter what he did not bother to answer a single question. His skin became pale and paler. His eyes were black because of staying up all night, and his body was also extremely weak. Every time he came home from school, he locked himself in the house, refusing to eat. He surprised his worried parents. As for himself, after he abandoned that woman, he always had the feeling that someone was watching him, making him extremely afraid. He also didn't know what was wrong with him. Every day the feeling that someone was behind him became bigger. Every night he seemed to have a fever. The whole body became cold and uncomfortable, and the sweat fell non-stop. He kept dreaming over and over again, one nightmare after the other, that made him so haunted and terrified that he didn't dare to sleep again. In the middle of the night, my friend was screaming in fear. His whole body was struggling as if to escape something. His body always felt heavy, as if there were thousands of rocks pressing on him. It was difficult for him to breathe and move. After a while, he felt like he wanted to die, clearly like someone was strangling him. He wanted to ask his parents for help, but every time something happened, he couldn't open his mouth or say anything. After struggling with that uncomfortable feeling, he finally could sleep again. But the strange dream always haunted him. This time, he felt everything very clearly. My friend thought that he was haunted by the psyche after that woman's accident, so he told his story to his mother, making her very confused. At first, he still tried to go to school, but every time he went out, he became tired, frustrated, and didn't want to meet or interact with anyone. Because of that, his learning was also declining day by day. That night, he decided to tell the whole thing to his parents. He thought that he was suffering from psychological problems because he was so obsessed with the accident. After listening to him, his parents did not stop worrying and discussing how to solve his problems. His father reassured him and said he would take him to see a psychologist for treatment and try his best to comfort and coax him. The following night, his father was so worried about him that his father decided to sleep in my friend's room for the sake of checking. But even if there was his father in the room, that nightmare still happened and scared him. In the middle of the night, his father saw him writhing in the bed. His mouth said something not clear, but he seemed very frightened. After a while, he returned to normal, but tears were already pouring down his face and saliva was running down both cheeks. My friend didn't dare to sleep anymore. He was afraid that every time he slept, that terrible nightmare would happen again.
Daddy, help me! The nightmare is so scary!
His father could only reassure his spirit that he could sleep for a while and be healthy to see the doctor. The following day, his father tried to stick around his bed with golden talismans used to calm his spirit and ward off evil spirits. But these talismans did nothing to protect him. That night the nightmare came back, and it was worse than ever. He seemed to have lost all of his soul. He lay stiff on the bed with his cold body, which made his father extremely worried. He finally couldn't take it anymore and went crazy, screaming all the time. His head began to appear in unpleasant pain. His health also deteriorated day by day. His mother was so worried that she cried all of her tears. She tried to do everything to help him, but in the end, she still could not relieve his condition. Meanwhile, his father went to see a psychologist for advice. His father was advised by his doctor to put a CCTV camera in his room for the doctor to monitor. His parents followed the doctor's orders and put a camera in his room that pointed directly at the bed. Every night, his parents monitored him from the monitor connected to the camera to see how he was doing. Unknowingly during that time, his parents discovered the cause that made him like a person who had lost his mind. In the middle of the night, he had another convulsion. But in the monitor, his parents not only saw him writhing in the room alone, but also another person. It was a hazy woman sitting on the bed, with hands clasped around his neck. Very scary. But at this moment, the strange woman discovered that she was being followed by the camera. She turned a bloody and horror face straight into the camera. His parents panicked and rushed to his room to check, but the woman was nowhere to be found, not even a trace. When his father saw this, he worriedly ran to the bed, trying to wake my friend up. After my friend woke up, he couldn't remember anything. He looked at his father bewilderedly and asked what had happened. His father worried that after knowing everything, my friend was even more scared than before. Therefore, his father decided to hide this horror story from him. But then, his father knew that he couldn't hide it for too long. So, the father played the video he filmed in my friend's room for him to see. When the woman's face appeared, my friend immediately recognized it as the woman he had met. His father was surprised and asked him what relationship he had with this strange woman. He sighed and lowered his face. He admitted that he saw the woman in an accident at that time. She begged for his help, but he ran away. His parents then took him to the police to report the accident and learned that the woman did not survive because of too much blood loss. He also thought that part of the fault was because he didn't help the woman, so she died. So that night, he brought the votive paper to burn at the corner of the intersection. This place was where that accident happened. Then he reported to the police the license plate number and the specific time of the incident for the police to investigate. Fortunately, thanks to his testimony, the police caught the culprit of the accident. His health had since also begun to recover.